Unleash your potential. Unleash your potential. Reach for the stars. Electric dreams align. Show them who you are. Unleash your potential. Yo, 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 let's go. 1, 2, 3. Unleash and grow. Embrace the vibe, set it free. Your potential unlocked. Just believe. Psychedelic journeys, hearts aligned. Step into the future. Greatness redefined.
Another morning. Thank you so very much, man. Let me say thank you. Thank you. Hope that you had a wonderful time. Yes, we are back again after one full week. Having unleashed our potential, we are still to be motivated to go beyond. Yes. I guess you had a wonderful time as I had, and energetic as I am, enthusiastic as I am, spirited as I am. Another day to motivate ourselves, get ourselves out of our fears, weakness, hoping, yet passive. Another day. Thank you so very much, all of you great people. Yes, it is. Unleashing your potential, Kings 88.5, weekend motivational talk. I'm Sam Andrews.
Unleash your potential, reach for the stars, electric dreams align. Show them who you are, unleash your potential. Yo, 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 let's go. 1, 2, 3, unleash and grow. Embrace the vibe, set it free. Your potential unlocked, just believe.
What a day again. We're so motivated, so excited. Great people. Good to see all of you. It is a great honor that we are together again in the same room. We can share our persuasions, our experiences, our emotions, our understanding, how we can take to another level our thinking, the pattern of our thinking, having the ambition to get a good future, to move out of the wall of passivity to pragmatism. Yes, it's another day. Oh, great day, people. So let's get started. Again, let me appreciate and welcome all of you. Thank you for everything, your presence. We are always inspired by your presence with us from Monday to Sunday, and then Monday you start again. Thank you so much. You always with us, never giving up. We are always inspired by your presence. Thank you so much. Great people. Kings 88.5 holds it to you as you compliment us too. Yeah. So it's another opportunity to bring our spirit alive, elevate our thought, our thinking, taking it to another level, and just understanding that life isn't complicated, but it is complicated when you assume that it is complicated and you live with that assumption. Mhm. But once you aren't, then life is just as easy, it's just as understandable as God created it. This morning we talk something very encouraging. I say encouraging because it will encourage us to allay or put aside that giant that have always kept many people back, and how we can slay that giant. We need to slay that giant. Mhm. So let's do a short recap. Then we can go into what we have for ourselves for today. Thank you all again for coming on. Those of you who have just joined us, this is King's 88.5 weekend motivational talk called Unleash Your Potential. Unleash Your Potential. Unleash Your Potential. It's on King's 88.5 Saturday, 8 to 9. Saturday, 8 to 9. Just to get ourselves in a position that we will understand life and pursue life and brush aside those other pieces that tend to have a toll on us. Let's do a recap from last week lecture. Can anyone remind us what we talked last week? Can anyone? Last week we had as our motivation making the best out of a difficult situation. That was what we had to bring ourselves alive. That it takes everything, life, and life provides everything to come out of a difficult situation. We said that difficult situation is natural and supernatural. Throughout creation, the pattern of creation, we see no exempt of difficult times, suffering. No, we see the very creator telling us of difficulties, trials, tribulations, temptations, that life, in summary, is not a walk in the park. He told us that. So we can conclude that suffering, difficult times, and every other things that may just seem blur from a life perspective is supernatural. And then it is natural. Natural because we exist as human beings. And all of those factors are with us. They weren't imputed by God that we suffer it, no, but they are just part of existence. So when we know that, then we also know we have the solution. And that solution is we can get out of it with everything available to us. We can get out of it. We said last week, when you are faced with difficult situation, problem, trials, and tribulation, you need to come out. It is not for you to stay in it as your resident. It is not for you to cry in it and give people the impression that you are suffering. Everybody will empathize and sympathize with you, but it is not their responsibility to get you out. It is your responsibility to get yourself out, and within there, you will have to seek assistance to get you out. And that assistance, you must give the people the reason why they should help you out. We said last week, stay calm and composed. Stay calm and composed. Avoid getting angry when you are in a difficult situation. It doesn't make sense to get angry when you are in a difficult situation. It only gets complicated, gets tense, and it will have a serious psychological problem on you. Anger really helps. I don't know whether it does. It really doesn't help. No, not at all. Don't get angry when you find yourself in difficult situation. We said the reason you have difficult situation or problem or trials or tribulations or temptations, whatever they are, it is because there is solution. If there wasn't solution, we wouldn't have problem. The reason we have problem because there is solution. We got those many problems because there are solutions. If there weren't solutions, then we will have no problem. If there wasn't a problem, there wasn't solutions, and we have problem, then God will be incomplete. You have to understand every situation before you from a supernatural and natural perspective. And as you think this way, solution is right before you. Stay calm, keep yourself composed, focus on what you can control by creating a plan and taking action. Now, this happens within that period called wait. Wait. We said last week, wait is not the period for crying, sharing tears, grieving, weeping, taking the situation to multiple friends and giving the impression that something has to be done. And if nothing can be done, you are cursed and God is fed up with you. And you say, this thing is too much. Let God just take my life. I'm tired with this. This is too much. God does not take anybody's life when you are in difficult times or you are facing your own giant. He does not take anybody's life. That's why when Job's wife told him to curse God and die, she was simply saying, let God take your life. Job faced his difficult situation, and only Job needed to come out, and only Job had the solution. God did not take Job's life, but his wife felt that because he was facing a terrible, terrible condition, so God should take Job's life. Just like some of you would say, let God just take my life. I'm tired of this thing. I can't bear it any longer. God does not take anybody's life in such a situation, but rather He provides solution to come out. And you will never have an understanding or see that solution before you when in your waiting, you are crying, weeping, grieving, groaning in your heart, wrestling against yourself within yourself. You wouldn't. But when you stay calm and composed and use that period to think, not putting anger into it, frustration, hurt, then you'll find a solution. We use a reference from the very God who, in that context, explains from a natural perspective what life is. He's talked about a difficult situation with a psychological output. When he said in Matthew 6, he said, can the many worry when you are in a difficult situation? Can the many worry add a single stature to your life? That means, can it increase your length? Can it, if you are short, can the many worry increase your length from being short to tall? Meaning, when you are faced with a difficult situation, anger doesn't help you. If it ever helps, it puts you in a more terrible condition. And sometimes, like others have experienced, it could lead to something psychological, either a stroke or something, or sometimes death. Not every soul under the ground from something is because they worry a lot. That's why psychology says stress, which is also worrying, the high level of worrying, that stress is a partner of death. It's the same that God asks. Can the many worry add a single stature to your life? No. So you stay calm. We also said last week, don't dwell on the past. Don't dwell on the past. And don't put on any self defect thinking. Don't dwell on the past and don't put on any self defect thinking. STD is when you say to yourself, I can make it, the situation is difficult, it's too hard, I don't think I can get out of it. It becomes self fulfilling prophecy. Once you put on that belief, you're not going to act. You are feeding, you are nurturing failure, setback. You are blocking success, breakthrough. And what's going to happen? The self defect will come to pass as self fulfilling prophecy because you put it on yourself by saying to yourself, I can, so I shouldn't. We told you last week, from last week's lecture, put on a strong mindset of possibility. Put on a strong mindset of possibility. Flush out every doubt. Flush out everything doubt. And just put on the possibility or the possible thinking that it is possible I can get out. There isn't any situation hard. No, it may seem from how it is in your situation, but Every situation isn't hard, isn't difficult to get out. It is only when you think you can. When you put on that mindset of the possible, it is possible. Last week lecture also told us that spending time on what you cannot change is a waste of time. Spending time on what you cannot change is a waste of time and effort. You don't want to. No. If you're in a terrible condition, your business isn't flourishing, things aren't going well in the office, you can understand your life on the campus, be it university, polytechnic, high school. You just can understand how the relationship is going in the home, be it marriage or cohabitation. You want to just stop wasting time on what you think will give you solution, but it is not giving you solution. You want to do a detour. You want to do a detour, and when you get on that alternative route, you put that into experiment. You experiment that idea. That could help. Know that finding a solution to a difficult situation is not automatic and sudden. Getting out or wanting to get out of a difficult situation is not sudden, it's not automatic. It's not like the rapture. It works with time and patience. If you must get yourself out of any difficult situation, two things are essential to you: time and patience. That time must be used for thinking and thinking real hard. Don't include crying, worrying. Don't put on any impression. Don't put on any impression that others will see from the outside that you are stressed, you are down, you are frustrated, and they begin to ask you, but what is happening? What's going on with you? And you said nothing. I'm okay. I said, no, you sure you're okay? When you hear people asking that question, they're looking at the outer part of you. Your countenance explains your inside because you give them the impression. Some people, they go through serious situation, terrible ones, but you wouldn't see any outer sign. They keep it within, and they try figuring out solution, thinking hard, thinking out of the box, and solution come their way. It works with time and patience. You can't come out of a difficult situation lacking patience. No. Time, patience are supernatural. Supernatural. They aren't friendly with us. They don't know us, but they are natural, supernatural phenomena. So we can control time, we can control patience, we can do anything. They are supernatural phenomena. But we are to walk within them, and then we can have the solution that we need. And we close with using a character who was in an unprecedented, terrible, I will consider that a tribulation period, just few seconds away or few minutes away from the burning fiery furnace. She was on the brink of losing her children. Not only that, even her very self, as it was the culture then, time wasn't in her favor, but she exercised patience, though time was running against her, but she composed herself, she stayed calm, she in her waiting, she used it to think, to figure out solution. And as she tried thinking, not worrying, not crying, she soon realized that I am faced with this terrible situation. How can I get out? If I cry, it wouldn't give me solution. If I get vexed, it wouldn't give me the solution. It wouldn't bring me out. If I wrestle against myself, it wouldn't help me. If I take it to all of my friends, it will only complicate because every one of them will be giving just their version. So she did none of those things, attempting, trying to come out of difficult situation. She thought real hard, and as she did, she got a solution. She decided to take it to a trusted friend. Didn't we tell you that last week? Don't take your problem to just anybody and everybody. Take it to a trusted friend who will find a way to help you come out of that difficult or terrible or nasty or tribulation, whatever it is, out. So she thought, well, rational thinking, she thought on a trusted friend, and she took it to the trusted friend. She could have done just like the other lady did. The reason the other lady didn't have solution because she took it to almost everybody, and everybody gave their version, and it was difficult, which she would believe. She took it to more than 4, 5, 6 persons, and everybody giving their version. So put all of those versions together. How is it possible that you figure out which is right for you to implement? So she could not find solution. She was in it for years. This lady, this woman, thought not to make the mistake of her fellow gender. She felt that it wasn't necessary, even though it was paining her to the core. Time was pressing against her. She needed patience, and she made the most of patience. She did not cry. She did not weep. She did not groan in her heart. She did not take it to friends. She did not wrestle against herself. She did not get vexed. She did not shout and scream and yell. She did not go into her room crying like most women would do today, most men would do today, weeping and worrying and crying. She did none of those things. Look at that woman. She kept her composure. She stayed calm. She kept her psychology intact. She used her thinking, her mind, her intellect. She raised her intelligent quotient to figure out solution. And then she got this idea and took it to a trusted friend. And when she went, she explained. The trusted friend gave her the audience, meaning attention, no interruption. She explained. The trusted friend did not interrupt her as she was explaining. And that's one of the unique characteristics of counselor, of anybody, manager, anybody in whatever the sphere of discipline you find yourself. When she got through explaining, the trusted friend asked her a simple question. He asked the what question, and she answered honestly. And then he gave her the instructions. Now, here is it. There's one thing, receiving the instructions, and there's another, following the pattern of the instructions. Today, people give instructions, and then the person will leave one out. They'll say, oh, let me do the one there. Okay, I think I want all right. So that one, they leave it. They need to do. Then when the problem gets complicated again, then they tend to blame the person. This lady did exactly as what she was told to do. She did not leave a single instruction out. She was scientific about it, just as the trusted friend laid out the instructions or the pattern how to get herself out of such a situation. She followed every one of them one by one in order. Fast forward, what happened? She got her life restored. She came out. She had a debt that her husband left behind, having credited or took loan, and the time was pressing against her. She will now pay the debt, not only that, but had extra money to sustain her family and move on with her life. Simple. Don't worry about anything. With that recap, let's get into the next 30 minutes, what we've got for today. Today's talk is overcoming fear. Overcoming fear is our lecture for today. Overcoming fear. Overcoming fear. Write that down. Overcoming fear is what we've got for today. Overcoming fear. Former American President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, during the Great Depression, came out with this expression. If you haven't heard it, well, it's a very inspiring expression to not get you panicking and worrying about situations that will be coming against you or you are faced with. Where is it said, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. What that statement means, fear itself is the greatest obstacle, more dangerous than the actual problems we face, because it paralyzes us and it prevents us from acting rationally. That means to think right. The main idea is that fear can be destructive, making solutions or situations worse through inaction or panic. Our society, the world, and our society, the Liberian culture, is a witness of too many people today who put on fear. For many people today, fear is constant companion, constant companion. And fear cuts across fear of death, fear of danger, fear of disease, fear of acting, fear of feeling, and on and on. Too often, this word, fear, cripple people from achieving what they set out or they want to achieve. It's not a good word, fear, but it is also a good word. Did you get me? It's not a good word, but it is also a good word. What do I mean? It is not a word bad in its entirety. It only becomes, and it's saying that way when the person puts it on. It's not a bad word. It's not an offensive word. It's not a pushback word like the word tribulation. So, what is it? It is just a feeling of danger or the possibility of a setback, or it won't work even if attempt was made. And people put on this everywhere, every every sphere of life. People put it on in different ways, at different times, in different situations. So, what about a person who puts it on? Well, that person who puts on fear is afflicted with the fear of failure. He or she considers the possibility of feeling so intense that he or she chooses not to even take the risk. What is the risk? Action. Many people today will put this on and use it as justification. People want something or want to engage into something or want to get something done. They have this impression. Let's consider it ambition, good, and they feel excited, motivated because there is the time interval, the space between that time the person has put on the ambition they want to do, want to achieve, and when the stage is set. When the stage is set, when the time has arrived, what sets in? Fear. Fear. People who put on fear, they consider the possibility of feeling so intent that they will not even attempt to take the risk. At that point, they have or they have put on self-defect. Self-defect means I can, it is not possible. If I attempt, I wouldn't make it. I don't have the ability. And so let me not. So you resign within yourself that it is not possible. You should not. Even if you did, it wouldn't work. If you attempt, people will laugh at you. They will even mock you. Right there, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everything negative based on fear has been fulfilled, and you did nothing. So you will achieve nothing. How do one overcome fear to unlock good life, have breakthrough, take whatever the venture to another level? You want to ask yourself that question. How do one overcome fear to unlock life? There are a couple of things you can do. One, overcoming fear is not to fear fear. That's the first thing. That's the first way you can overcome fear. Fear is not to fear fear. You can overcome fear, not to fear. It sounds radical and ambiguous. Overcoming fear is not to fear fear. It's as simple to understand, not difficult. It simply means when you act, fear is gone. Only when you cannot that you fear fear. Secondly, face fear. Face fear. Face fear and slay it by challenging yourself into venturing whatever you have put on mentally. Face it, slay it. Fear is that giant. Every giant resists. Every giant is an obstacle. Anything in your life or facing you serving as obstacle is a giant. And when you face a giant or a giant is facing you, you find yourself in such situation. What is there for you to do? To slay the giant. If you should pass that giant and move, the giant is your obstacle. The giant is in front of you, and you need to get to the next point. And the giant is standing at the edge of that point, and you need to slay that giant to get there. What do? Will you turn around? Will you say, I can make it? Will you say, this is impossible for me? No, you have to slay the giant. In this context, the giant is fear. Remember now, the giant of fear appears strong, but isn't strong. It's as weak as anything. And here, how you get to destroy the giant by challenging yourself into venturing into action. Telling the third way, don't think negative. Don't think negative and put on self defect that might become self fulfilling prophecy. Don't think. Let me put it this way, the simplest way I can explain it so you understand. I have seen that a couple of times when, say, in the community or whatever, there is a program organized, and everybody within that cycle of that organization, and they look at a person and said, Madam, Sister Cynthia, given your ability on XYZ, we have chosen you as the master of ceremony, that you'll serve as the master of ceremony. Sister Cynthia hasn't done it before. Here is the first challenge for Sister Cynthia to move before the audience who will be looking so intent at Sister Cynthia. And the master of ceremony is, let's leave that. We'll come to that another time. But Sister Cynthia received the information, and then her response, oh, you are busy and you can find somebody else, and I doing this, I doing that. When you hear all of that, not that Sister Cynthia can do, Sister Cynthia has put on fear. She feels, how is she going to do? What is she going to say? How is she going to do it? And the place is going to be packed, and everybody going to be looking, and it's going to be a mixture of different cultures, different level of education, because that's what audience is made of. You have the highly educated, you have the semi-educated, you have the uneducated, you have the exposed, you have all of those traits on display looking. And there is this expectation from the audience of perfection. So all of those things, but they are not the problem. Sister Cynthia puts on fear and say within herself, no, she can. But it is that gathering is set for Sister Cynthia as the breakthrough by which she will come out and experience. Do you know that very many people took advantage of that the first time, and that's how they got good life? Somebody look at them and say, oh, this lady is a very good master of ceremony. Oh, she's this, and we can use her. From that moment, from one level to another, from one level to another. There is a lady, let me use this Liberian, since it is our culture. Other countries will use their people. Ghanaian will use Ghanaians, Kenya will use Kenyans, Sierra Leonean will use Sierra Leoneans, Guinean will use Guineans. They use their people, and that's good. It's motivating. So let's use our own. Let's use a Liberian. Given what I've just explained, that's how she started. Gwendolyn Myers started small. She got the opportunity to serve as master of ceremony, whether she was good or not, but she did not allow fear to hold her back. She took, even though she felt along the way uncomfortable within herself, but she took the advantage of it. Whether she was perfect or not, no. From that moment, others start picking her up. Today, she's on the international scene. She's one of the greatest voices for Liberia, domestically and internationally. Fear. You can only slay that giant by exerting yourself, taking on a responsibility. Anything short of that, you will find yourself retrogressing. You will not want to make any attempt. You'll think that you should not make, and you think that it will just be all right, but you will not excel. Life is on to everybody to excel, but God will not come physically and take your hand and take you to the level you want to go. It is unto you to move, because everything potential is in everybody on earth. There isn't a single person who does not have the potential. It is only when the person unleashes that potential by getting into action, overcomes the fear, and the future is before the person. Fear is not overcome from a person by taking medication. No, fear, it doesn't. No, not at all. The psychological word they have for fear is phobia. And some people, they take medication. They have this tranquilizing drug. Even bigger people do that to where people start. And they will go to the drugstore if they have something to do. And I'm staying within the context of addressing people. Next, we will look at the other part, if God permits. So they're not used to large audience. Even some pastors do that. Some people in the secular society, they take in liquor. So before the gathering, the person, together with his colleagues or sometimes himself or herself, will go to the entertainment center and call for a bottle or style, drink that, and then call for the second. That way, the person feels that he or she will be in the position to say something without any sign of worrying or boldness will come. And on and on. You see that several ways. But it doesn't help. It doesn't take away the fear. It is temporary. It doesn't take away the fear. You can take in tranquilizing drug. It will not take away the fear. You can drink, whatever the drink that you think it will bring up the boldness, the readiness to do, it will not. It is temporary. It is transitory. It is for a moment. The fear still within. It is only by doing, venturing, doing it. You do it the first time, and you do it the second time, and you do it the third time, and you do it the fourth time, and you do it the fifth time. What's going to happen? Fear is off you naturally. It is spontaneous. It goes. It's off. Beyond that point, you are ready. You see, some people, we have seen a couple of individuals like that. They were afraid from the onset. But as they were encouraged to take off fear by venturing, getting into action, they tried the first time, the second, the fourth, and then you hear the person say, oh, I want to do it again. Or you put me on the list. You put me there, let me do this one. When you're hearing the person saying that, it means the person has overcome that fear. What the person saw as obstacle, what the person saw as impossibility, it was just something of what they put on. Now it has gone away. They want to be in it all of the time. You are the only person that can overcome fear. Fear isn't overcome by crying, worrying. Fear isn't overcome by self-rejection or refusal to partake or get involved. Fear is overcome when you say to yourself, I am going, I am doing it, I'm getting out. Whether I fail or I win, I will do. And that's what Martin Luther King said. He said, whether you fail or you win, be the best of whatever you are. Many don't impute fear. That's the only way you can overcome fear. If you have any fear, you face in congregation, or you have to face congregation, or you have to appear, you have to do whatever, and you think that you can overcome that fear by taking in some alcohol, or you go to the drugstore to get tranquilizing drug, no, it will not help. It doesn't take away, drugs doesn't take away fear. Whatever the drink does not take away fear. It is only acting and acting, doing and doing, doing and doing, acting and acting, that the fear goes away, and it will never, never return to you. You will always be ready. Even if you are sleeping midnight and they call you and say, Sister Georgia, we need you to do XYZ. There's this program on tomorrow. We need your participation, and you are responsible to do this, to do that. You will hear from Sister Georgia, no problem. Because you know why? That fear is off, it's gone. So there is the zealous spirit now. There is the readiness to do at all times. And it is enjoyable. That's how you slay the fear. That's how you overcome fear. Don't attempt anything, what I explained. Don't go to any doctor to ask for a tranquilizing drug to take in to overcome fear. Don't go to any drugstore to ask for a tranquilizing drug to overcome fear. Don't do it. It will not help you. Don't take in anything, quote unquote, to make you bold. It will not help you because it doesn't take away the fear. You are only zealous for that moment, but it is not. The fear is stay there. When you take in tranquilizing drugs, you take in whatever the drink that you will take in so that you will be bold, take away the fear. No, the fear is stay there. when the tranquilizing drug, the drinks that you will take in, it only makes you, it gives you that zeal for that moment. There is a difference between zeal and fear. The zeal is there. You move, you XYZ, but as soon as you are done, the fear comes back. So if you are unable, the next time you are unable, there isn't any possibility of getting a tranquilizing drug or a liquor to take in to get you bold, and you have that responsibility, you can. You hear the person say, I'm not in a position today, man. I'm not feeling well. Yeah, I beg you, just ask somebody to do it. Because none of those things are around for the person to take again. But a person who does it over and over and over, the person has overcome fear. Unless you can take action, you will not come out of fear, and it will continue to keep you down and backward in life. Slay that giant of fear in you by rising into action. That's what it is. That's how you get out. Overcoming fear. Overcoming fear. Fear, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. The first thing to overcoming fear is not to fear fear. The first thing to overcoming fear is not to fear fear. Did you get it? The first thing to overcoming fear is not to fear fear. Don't fear fear. When you fear fear, fear will overcome you. The second thing is face fear. Face fear head on. Face fear. Don't be afraid. It is not a strong giant. It is a weak giant. It only gets strong when you think you can. It is not possible, so you should not do. Challenge yourself and say, I am going. I can make it. I will do it. Whether I win, whether I fail, I must get into action. Whether people laugh at me or not, I will do it. Whatever they say, I will do it. There is no perfection from the first start. The first start is always mess up, but that is the beginning of a good start. Simple. That's how it works. Thank you for being with us today. Kings FM 88.5 weekend motivational talk. Unleash your potential. We are back next week, Saturday. Join us if you can. Thank you all. I appreciate your presence. You've done extremely well. Let's do it next week. All of you great people. So FC Barcelona is playing today. Okay. Yes. We have no fear. We're not harboring fear. Huh? I say, I put on no fear. You see me? Yeah. If I have fear, then I wouldn't come this way. I wouldn't come outside. Emilia? And that's it? Then I wouldn't come outside this way. That's one of the things that fear does. Say, so the people can say, yeah, oh, the people walking up. No. You can't. No fear. You trust your team. You get in your full form, you come out. Emilia, and I'm okay, eh? You see it? This is a typical experience of what I just shared with all of us. Don't put on fear. Just move. Just know that it is possible. You can overcome it. Huh? Okay. So that's it. We'll see you. FC Barcelona is on this afternoon. And then after that, on Tuesday evening, we face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in UEFA Champions League. Have a nice weekend, all of you, great people. This is Kings 88.5. Kings 88.5 weekend talk. Unleash your motivational talk. Unleash your potential comes on next week, Saturday, the same time, 8 o'clock. I'm Sam Andrews. Have a nice weekend.
Unleash your potential.